Hello, hello, everybody. How you doing? Here we are live Friday night with the Hodd, Mr. Hodd
Hello.
there, and I believe he's got somebody else there, but we may see them at some point. Who knows? But anyways, obviously we're here. You guys know we were talking on Tuesday night. You went and visited with Steven on Tuesday, and he talked about the fact that he was going to visit Steven on yesterday and today. So. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about some other things, obviously. But how you doing, Mark?
I'm very well, thank you. Another beautiful early spring day in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Blue skies, lots of snow on the ground, but it just on the edges. No, it wasn't snowing. Beautiful day today in Wisconsin.
So it's snowy but safer?
Yeah, no, seriously, it's really beautiful around here, and the snow.
I imagine.
So
it's like a big white blanket.
Yeah, just everywhere. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah. I'm me being a city boy, California boy. The only place we see snow is up in the mountains. So literally, I have to drive like 2 hours to be able to see snow in winter. But I know that, man, if you don't have the right gear for it, you can get stuck in the snow real easy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I almost had a car roll. I was parked on a plane that wasn't level, and I was on some snow or whatever. And when I tried to back out, my car almost went sideways and over a little embankment, basically, kind of like my car started sliding sideways. I eventually got in and dug all the snow out, got my tires back onto the pavement, and boom, I was out. But I was like, okay, this stuff is pretty damn dangerous.
You have to be careful. You have to be really careful.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not an experienced driver in the snow, of course, but I've had to learn real fast being here in Wisconsin. So
come on, you get lots of snow down there in Australia, don't you?
We do, but not anywhere near where I live.
Not anywhere near Sydney.
No, it's much further south. About 6 hours south of Sydney.
So Tracy gets it.
She's in Melbourne. She's a bit like me, in as much as they don't get snow in Melbourne itself. She would have to go about 3 hours north to the same area.
Oh, where the mountains are?
Yeah, they're in the southeast corner of New South Wales and northern Victoria. So yeah,
interesting.
So snow would be a bit of fun there too. So,
all right. So let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Hey, Travis, how's it going? Hey, Sharon, how you doing? Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Mary. Hello, Linda. How you doing? Hello, Mary Jo. Hello, Deborah. And hello, Shaz. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to be here talking tonight, so thank you for being here. Obviously, I guess let's start out with the fun question that I wanted you to ask, I guess.
I know that's coming.
Hey, well, you guys know that the other night I was wearing my brand new shirt I got that was a Scottish shirt. Basically, it had to do with Scotland. So I just told Mark for fun to ask Stephen, what he thinks about Scottish independence just for fun. And so, anyways, you got the chance to do so, right?
I did. I asked him today, and his reaction to the question, "What Scottish independence?" The verbal response I couldn't repeat here for, good manners, but I'll give you the visual one. What?
Yeah.
That was
WTF.
So
WTF.
That's all I needed. I didn't need any more explanation than that. That said, picture's worth 1,000.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. I figured he probably wouldn't have, an opinion on it. So, but I figured it'd be fun to see. Anyways, no worries. It's funny though. So, all right. So you went down and visited him. So, I understand your ego's bruised from losing at cards. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got whooped. You might
have. She won.
There's our special guest here. There she is.
Hey, Sandy. Is she the one that was beating you
Hi.
guys? Is it? Was she the one? Is she the big winner today?
Yeah.
Well, no,
Steve, I wasn't.
Oh, you weren't
unfortunately
there.
for
Oh,
me, Sandy wasn't there, so I made the loser.
oh,
So uh, Sandy will be coming tomorrow when we go and see Stephen, but she wasn't there today. Yes, Stephen whooped me today, big time. It was embarrassing. I was asking him, do they have a mercy rule in cards? But he said no way.
Slaughter rule.
It was, and that's probably why. That's probably why he had this grin on his face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it? Here we go. That's the winner, right? So
Here, see if you can get a better shot like that. Back it up a little bit. There you go. A little more, a little more. There you go. So
there we go.
yeah, looking good. Did you tell him? Did you tell him he needs a haircut?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said sorry. Did you tell him he needs a haircut?
Yeah. I know. I think he's got a part in the Warp on Christmas
Fab
play.
Four.
He's going to be one of the dwarfs.
Oh. I was wondering if they were going to be doing renditions of Beatles songs as the Fab Four, and he was going to dye it black.
There you go. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, we love
She
Steven.
loves you. Yeah. She loves you. Yeah. Yeah. Haircut like that, you should be glad. Anyway. Sorry about the singing, folks.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? So, hey, what's up, T1? I see you there in the chat. What's up, buddy? So Steven beat you at cards, and so other than that, what's his mood like?
Oh, he's in a fantastic mood today. Should probably combine today because and Sandra was there yesterday, along with his mum and dad and Kayla, his niece. So there were 5 of us there, and
Right.
So it was great for him to be there with his mum and dad. I guess you probably saw the photos on Facebook. But
and how did everybody else react
positive mood, and that
I'm sorry.
To his haircut.
I was gonna say, and how did everybody else react to the question?
I'm sorry. I don't know why this is. Mr. Kose, but like the last time I spoke with you, when we switched to live, I don't know why I get this sort of interrupted voice from you. We were chatting, we went live, and it was perfectly without interruption. Live is dragging on internet. I'm actually using internet at Sandy's place now, and I'm getting the same thing I was getting the other day. I'm not sure why that is, but
maybe it's it might be an inherent problem with phones.
So if I have to ask you a couple of times what you said to me, forgive me, but I need to understand.
No worries.
Whatever.
You sound like you're in a faraway cave or something now. Say something else?
Yeah. No, I just wondered what the question was you asked me, because clearly I didn't hear.
Oh, I was asking. You were saying that all the people that were there today. So I was just wondering what was what were the looks on their faces when you asked Stephen about Scottish independence?
Oh no, that was
yesterday.
I asked Stephen about Scottish independence today when I was there.
Yesterday is when they were all
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So I didn't want to confuse everybody, and
confuse everybody. Yeah. Cracking me up.
Right. So yeah.
Wow, you are getting pretty choppy. I didn't catch that last
have you got
bit.
any suggestion why that might be?
I'm only thinking that it seems like StreamYards has like maybe a limitation with phones. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't broadcast from a phone. I actually have to broadcast from a computer. Like, if it won't allow it. It allows me to schedule it through a phone, but that's it.
Yeah. Okay. And when you've spoken to other people using StreamYard, have they been using phones at all and had any of the similar problems?
I'd say most of the time, I think most of the time I'm dealing with somebody who's either at a computer or a laptop. I can't think of anybody in specific who I know was on a phone. But I know like Paul's usually on his PC now because he's he had it upgraded a bit, his operation there. I know most of the people that come on, I'm pretty sure Magilla is. Travis is usually on his laptop when he comes on. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, next time we speak, I always travel with my laptop. I have that.
Okay.
So I'll use
maybe
that
we
and
can
see
try it. That might be a good troubleshooting technique.
Yeah, but I noticed particularly when we were chatting before we went live, chat. I wasn't having any problem, but it started to be created once we went live.
Live streaming.
So,
yeah.
It
could be that. Yeah, it could be that because now it's having to transfer more data. That so it could be that. I mean, let's see. Oh, okay. So over on my Doctor Who channel, I had two guys that did use phones. If I remember, though, Matt the Drime was. We did have some choppiness with him. Sharon's bringing up somebody that we talked to after the Independence March, who was on a phone. And it occurs to me he was having some choppiness too. So maybe it is phones.
Yeah, maybe. So I will persist if you wish, because I can understand, but if you think it gets a bit unbearable for everyone listening in, I don't want to continue the pain thing. Okay.
I think for the most part we're getting what you're saying, but yeah, if it gets bad, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So Sharon's confirming. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, based on visiting Stephen yesterday with his family and Santa, and today on my own, he's in an extremely, extremely positive mood. He had a phone call from his lawyer also yesterday, from Kathleen Zellner, prior to us.
Hashtag work with KZ. There you go.
Yeah. And there's lots of things going on, as you know, and he's very energized about the whole process, so that's a good thing.
Right. I mean, having Zellner on board, I'm sure I would feel better if I was him, if Zellner was on board. So, I mean, and he's got a lot of support out here. I mean, he's got a lot of support out in the wider world, and along with Brendan. And so that's, I see him as having a lot to be excited about, even though he's in a place that would tend to curb any excitement,
Yeah. Before, so forgive me if it's repetitious, but Stephen is a remarkably resilient young man, or 57-year-old man, in terms of his ability to cope with his environment and still stay positive and reasonably well adjusted to life and what's going on. And so there's a lot to be learned from him. He's very, very strong-willed in the sense of believing in his innocence, as well as being actively involved in of what's going on in his case, and highly appreciative of all the supporters. So he's a great listener. That's one of his really good skills. He listens very well, and he appreciates everyone's contribution, which I regularly relate to him because he doesn't get the opportunity to see that the same way we do.
Right. So he's so has he heard that? Has anybody have you or anybody mentioned to him about Mammothon potentially coming up here?
Yes, he has. I've actually spoke to him about that today.
Okay.
So, I don't have any detail because I guess that detail hasn't been resolved just yet. But
Right.
I told him it was being planned. Put it that way.
Right. Right on. Okay. I know he's pretty proud of it, right?
Indeed, he is. Indeed he is. One of the things, I know this is again something I say a lot, but it's always very important to remember this. The same way that all of us have a great connection to the wider support, it's very difficult for Stephen to, other than what he's told, to have that same connection because he doesn't see social media. He doesn't have that connection that we have. So,
Right.
Him being aware of what's going on is really, really important to him. And most supporters out there would, even though Stephen knows his case very well and knows the issues going on, most supporters out there have a much wider and deeper connection to the social aspects of the support than Stephen does.
Right.
You got to remember, being important, that Facebook wasn't even invented when he barely invented when he went to prison for this second time. So.
Right. Yeah, I know he has no real awareness of it or anything. So, yeah, I imagine he isn't as well versed in what's happening in the outside world, obviously, as we all are. With what we're able to find out and learn.
Yeah.
So, but I imagine KZ keeps him pretty well informed, though. I mean, I'd go with a briefing. I could do with a briefing from KZ. I'd sit down for one.
KZ does keep him informed on the key issues, but there's a lot of infill issues that people like Sandy and other supporters and myself to some degree keep him informed on. So,
right.
It's the collective effort than any one individual person. It's the collective effort that matters.
Certainly, yeah.
I'm just going to make the screen look a bit more beautiful for a moment here. I'll just turn to Sandra.
Hi, Sandy. So are you gonna go whip Steven's butt tomorrow at cards? Are you getting mentally prepared? Oh, you're gonna try?
I worked on it a whole week before to make sure I'm mentally prepared. I gotta do it.
There you go. Because we got to make sure he doesn't get too cocky. Uh-oh. Did you freeze up? So, because we got to make sure he doesn't get too cocky.
A little StreamYard message came on the screen, and that's why I had to get rid of it.
So, oh, wow. What did it say?
I focused on getting rid of it. I didn't even read it.
Okay.
It just blocked the screen.
Fair enough. So. Just curious, actually.
I thought I broke the camera there for a minute. It was came right across my face.
He does that. He does that sometimes.
I thought it was the camera that actually broke the camera. That's what usually happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Hodd, he does that sometimes. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Big time.
Yeah. Well, you can understand with him, but with me, really? No.
Right on.
I want to be even in cards again. I've done it twice, and I thought I was big stuff doing it. So I plan on doing it tomorrow. I don't care if he's here or not. Doesn't matter. I'll be with him too.
All right on. And are you heading up? Are you going to be heading with Mark out to Crivets to go see Alan?
Yes.
You are? Cool.
Yes.
Right. So we're going to try to get some. Obviously, with Alan's permission, we're going to try to get a few short video clips with him. So
cool.
We'll send them on to you once we get them.
Oh, greatly appreciate it. I love Alan, so
we won't do it unless.
Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was just going to say we won't do that unless Alan's happy to do so. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've certainly wanted to be all on the up and up and agreed. So, fortunately, I don't think there's anything case related there. So I think we're pretty safe on those grounds. To where
yeah.
if you wanted to show us around, that we'd probably be okay. We wouldn't do anything detrimental to the case. So, but no, I'll very much greatly appreciate that because I do love Alan. I've always just felt for him ever since watching MAM1. Just loved his just grit and his attitude and his sense of what is right. I just dug him. I dug him, man. He was awesome.
That's very accurate. Very, very accurate. He's a bit of a rascal at times, like we all, because are very clear what's right and what's wrong, and a good moral. So I admire him very much, and he tries his best to be a good dad and husband and grandfather. So, yeah, it's a privilege to know him.
Yeah. Travis Williamson says California agrees with Sandy, right? You enjoyed
I guess so.
Yeah, the 80-degree weather.
The weather. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to come here. If I don't want to be anywhere near all that traffic that you went through.
Oh, right.
I wouldn't. No, but the weather, I'll take that.
Yeah,
Definitely the weather. We'll get a day or two of that this summer. No, but me 2 or 3 days even. It's 85, and other than that, yeah.
Yeah, well, if you ever get back out here, maybe we take you over and show you like Palmdale, Lancaster area, because it's really out on the fringes of LA, but gets the same weather. And so anyway, it's a little more like Wisconsin too. But anyway, well, it's not as green as Wisconsin. It's a desert. But anyway,
next time you can show me the desert.
Yeah. Well, it's just in those two places though. The houses are a bit farther apart, like it is in Wisconsin, and you guys saw here where my studio is. You saw that the houses are literally like 10 feet away from each other. I didn't really see that situation really going on in Wisconsin. It seemed like there was a fair amount of space in between homes.
Right. Yeah, I've got one close neighbor here that's pretty close, but the other side is an empty lot, so that's kind of nice.
Right.
Too. Right. I don't like them really close. I don't like to be doing dishes and looking at my neighbor doing dishes as well. I've had that.
Come on, you can root each other on. No.
Do them so that she could have come over and done mine too, I suppose.
There you go.
No, LA is a nice city. It's pretty. What I've seen of it is pretty.
Right.
And of course it was good weather and that, sunny. I mean, it was a nice time, that's for sure. I got all tired out, but other than that, fine. So, yeah, I'm glad I went. Very glad. By the way.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad both of you came. It was a lot of fun. And
well, thank you.
And getting to take everybody out for dim sum, see, because I love it so much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So thank you for coming. It was a blast having you.
Well, it was a blast coming. So I think speak for you too.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Dim sum.
Oh, it was so. I love it, dude. And I loved it. I loved it that you didn't realize that the Chinese mustard was going to be spicy like it was. Oh
my God.
I thought that I'm sorry. I was a little bit amused, but but you saw me taking the brunt of it because there was a couple of them, man, where I got a little too much of that mustard on there. And I was like, oh, woo. I'm sure there was like steam spouting out of my ears or something. So
your face was red.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why
eyes watering. I'm like a bull going, because it's like in my nose, and I'm like,
that was cute.
You should relate the story to everyone about your request for Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
The waiter. And what you got in return. You should tell that story.
Yeah, that was funny. Folks know how much I love my Dr. Pepper, but yeah, and if you guys go and watch the video of the second day when we went for dim sum, I asked the waiter at one point for Dr. Pepper, and I go, "Do you have Dr. Pepper?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, yeah." And I go, "Okay, great." I go, "Give me one." And he comes back to the table and he has a little bottle of pepper with him. And I go, "Oh, no, I meant Dr. Pepper." I go, and he's like, "What?" I go, "Dr. Pepper." I go, "Coke." He goes, "Oh yeah, we have Coke." I'm like, "Bring me a Coke." It was hilarious though that he brought me a bottle of pepper. That was just, oh my Lord. That's how you know you're getting authentic dim sum though, because the waiter barely speaks your language enough to get your order and bring you what you want.
That's right. But,
it kind of tells it kind of suggests that they learned how to make dim sum somewhere other than in the U.S.
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't think they were born here, that's for sure.
No.
So,
but they're nice people. They're nice folks.
Yeah, and, very nice people and very, very wonderful food, put it that way.
Anybody's ever in Southern California, the Sea Empress in Gardena. Brilliant. From 9 to 3 every day, you can go there for their little dim sum buffet. It's brilliant. So just so everybody knows, little plug for the Sea Empress. So, but yeah, thank you guys for coming. It was great. Even getting to take Julie and her son Cody on the second day, it was a lot of fun too. So, you know, it was great. I love to share meals like that, so that was a good time.
So tomorrow we're off to see Stephen again for Saturday. They have different visiting hours on Saturdays, so it's early, 9 till 3. So we'll be there in the morning, and then after that, heading up to see Alan in Crivets and tending to the garden for some kohlrabis, as everyone would know from the documentary, and probably some beans and cheese, and undoubtedly a few beers as well. That's typically Northern diet. So looking forward to spending some time with him.
Right. Absolutely. I wish I was there. I'm hoping to be there for a week this year so that you and I can go over and visit him. So I'd love to be able to go do that because I've been wanting to do it the last 2 times, but just wasn't going to fit into a weekend. So anyway.
You got to allow some time. So that's the main thing.
Oh, Sharon tells me that when I go to Scotland that I may not understand the Ouija's, but they do have Dr. Pepper. It's funny. Hilarious. Yeah, the Scots do have an interesting dialect, I guess you might say, or slang, or at least a catalog of slang. I love it though.
They have their own, as well as an accent that you got to be a good listener. That's for sure.
I find the Scots way.
They're always pretty happy, so you just ride along with their enjoyment of life, and you can understand it from there on in.
Yeah, so. Especially like our trusty Ouija there, Sharon Sunshine, who's in the chat there. She's our trusty Ouija, Jerome, I need to talk to you. So as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to be messaging you. We need to set up tomorrow with Eagle Nation and all that. So good to see you, but we need to talk as soon as we're done here. And so obviously I look forward to what you guys are going to come up with from Alan, or when you go visit Alan tomorrow. I advise you, Mark, to bring the Dr. Salt in your back pocket so that when you go out there and he says you put a little salt on these and you can bust the salt out right there and say, here we go.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Right on. All right. So I think, I think we'll wrap it up unless you have anything else you wanted to say, Mark, before we go. Obviously, everybody keep looking forward to Marathon.
Yeah. And I know I always say it, but I'm going to keep on saying Stephen really, really appreciates all the support and he's very encouraged about what this year holds for him. So, on his behalf, I'll just say a big thank you to everyone for what they're doing.
Right
and
on.
Sandy does too, of course.
We do, yeah. I know he appreciates every one of the supporters, and it's so good when you hear stories about them. Like they will, even when they write to him, they'll talk about their families and what they're doing in their life, and it makes him, I think, a little bit closer to some of these, those that he writes to on a regular basis. I know there's a lot more that he doesn't find time to write to, but he's got several that he writes to regularly, and he really appreciates them. Sending pictures to their family, talking about their job, what they do. And I think that's important to him to hear about real life that's going on, when he's, not having a life. So, yeah, he's very appreciative of it. So everybody out there needs to be thanked because it's a great thing.
Right. Hey, just like I thank all of you for showing up here to catch up on Stephen Avery, Brendan Dassey, and Making a Murderer. Even if it's every so often, I appreciate everybody who does that because you're coming here and you're adding to the pool of people and getting informed and staying informed. And that's the kind of thing we're promoting here. So thank you for being here. It's everybody's effort. It's all of us together. I've said it before and I'll say it again, like you heard Mark just say. It's all of us putting on the collective pressure in concert with the lawyers, putting the legal pressure. It's all of this pressure that we're all creating along with the lawyers that's going to eventually make this situation pop. It's going to make, as I've said before, somebody slip or flip. Somebody's either going to end up slipping and saying something they shouldn't. I think my money's on Ken Kratz. Or somebody is going to flip and go, okay, wait, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. And they're just going to flip and go, this is what's going on. So,
well said.
Like I said, up to us to keep it up. So we got to keep that pressure on publicly while the lawyers are coming in from the legal side. So it's important. So remember, folks.
That's it. You couldn't have said it better. So, yeah.
All righty. Well, we'll look forward to seeing what you come up with tomorrow, guys. Obviously.
Okay.
Thank you for coming out to California, and it was a great time. And the song and dance, folks. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you.
We'll see.